Hi, everybody. Respecting your time, and I know many of you are anxious to get back to work, I thought we should get underway relatively closely on time. I'm just delighted to welcome everybody here for the launch of our Here For You, the campaign for students. I mean, what is a Seneca campaign without an acronym? So you will see C4S, Campaign for Students, for those who haven't figured it out yet. I'm just delighted because this, as far as I know, and I stand to be corrected by somebody who's been around a lot longer, I think this is the first time we are trying a campaign like this on behalf of our students in such a comprehensive way. We are really going to unleash the hounds and put on a full court press to raise monies to set up a permanent endowment for bursaries for students in financial need. It's going to be my pleasure soon to introduce my co-chair, Samir Abdi, the president of the Seneca Students Federation, and some students who can talk about this more directly. But I think everybody who works in this place, everyone who walks the halls of this place knows that the dream, and in fact the stated ambition, I think, of every government since Confederation, that no student should be denied access to education for financial need, is sadly not yet a reality. We have students who every day, every semester, every year have to drop out because of financial circumstances. There are bursaries, yes. There's the student loan program. There are federal student loan programs. These very necessary, these absolutely essential parts of our financial aid system exist, but they're not enough. We need to do more, and that's what this campaign is all about. We have set ourselves a very ambitious goal of raising $700,000. That's not all has to come from your pockets, although anything you can do to assist us on the way would be most welcome. But we've set that goal because we have that much need and we have that much more. So this is just the beginning, but it's a very important beginning. This year, we have a very special urgency to this campaign. There's a wonderful government program which very sadly is coming to an end, and that government program is a matching program that says for every dollar that you put in, the government will match it at least 1 for 1, and sometimes even more than that. Unfortunately, that program is ending on March 31st, and so it becomes an even more urgent matter for us to raise as much money as we can by March 31st so we can get those matching dollars. It's pretty special, actually, when you can give $10 and it turns into 20 or more. So that's why we're putting on this push now. You will not be able to work in this place, to study in this place, to walk through this place over the next few weeks without knowing this campaign is on. But you should know, and I know that you do know, it's for an extraordinarily important cause, which is our students. So with that, let me introduce, and I'm just delighted to introduce a real champion, I have to tell you, every day, a champion for our students, for making this place a better place and making it an easier place financially and otherwise for students to come to. Samir Abdi.
Hello everyone. As introduced, my name is Samir Abdi, the president of the Seneca Student Federation, and along with David Agnew, the co-chair of the Here For You campaign for students. We are gathered here to kick off an important campaign in which we're trying to create awareness in our school, especially as it relates to students being forced to leave school and not graduate from their programs. Many students risk not completing school for reasons other than their academics. We all know students face financial difficulties. They rely on part-time jobs, loans, and food banks to get by. More than 73% of our students have to work more than 22 hours a week just to make ends meet. More than half of our students are on OSAP, and about 700 students use our food banks across the campuses. Many of our students are unable to graduate from their programs due to financial reasons. This is what inspired us to start the Here For You campaign for students. With all your support, we believe we will be able to help our many students graduate. We just want to remind everyone that these students need our support. And to the students, we want you to know we are here for you. Thank you.
So Samir gave you some very important numbers, and there will be a test later on those. But we also want to put, we see it every day in our halls, but we want to put a very human face on this campaign. And to help us do so, I'm just delighted to introduce one of our most effective student ambassadors, and I can tell you this from a recent meeting that I had where I was pressed against the wall in my office listening to a piece of advocacy around student financial assistance, which was very persuasive from Irina. Irina Danilenko is a student ambassador, a student in our degree program in human resources, and a bursary recipient. So Irina.
Hello. First off, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out and supporting the campaign for students launch. It means a lot to Seneca, and it means a lot to students like myself who are in financial need. My name is Irina, like David mentioned. I'm in the Human Resources Strategy and Technology degree program. I'm also a student ambassador at Student Services right here. I'm a part-time employee at a recreation center. I'm also a mentor for first-year students. I participate in the leadership program, and I'm also on an external HR committee. I have been one of the lucky students to have received financial assistance through Seneca. It has helped me not only lower my total debt, but it's given me a peace of mind to know that my total debt will be less once I graduate. Compared to what initially I would have to pay when I graduate, because it's very hard to balance work and school and extracurriculum activities, and receiving the national loan every year and the numbers just doubling up. Receiving bursaries has meant more than just the dollars for me. It is the fact that someone like you is willing to help out students like me.
Given what the list of things that Irina talked about that she goes through on a day-to-day basis, whether it's the mentoring, whether it's the leadership, whether it's the ambassadorship, and then there's just this little matter of studying a degree program, I think she's doing a fantastic job. Speaking of student ambassadors, I'd like to introduce put another human face to the need for this campaign and for assisting our students with their finances. Amin Tabrizi is a student in our aviation program, also a student ambassador, and I'm just delighted to welcome him.
So my name is Amin Tabrizi. I'm a third-year aviation student out of Markham campus. Before coming to Seneca, I did another degree in sciences, and what made me actually decide to come here in the aviation program was that I definitely wanted to be a pilot, and then one of the major factors was that this program was highly subsidized by the government, and also OSAP was covering the cost. So being a student in need, I decided to come here because I could use OSAP to afford to pay for the program, and there's also scholarships and bursaries available to help us around. Throughout the aviation program, we tell everybody that you shouldn't work because the program is highly demanding of you and you don't really have time. And that was what I did the first 2 years, so you could highly focus, and that's what I really recommend to every other student. But sometimes it's really hard. Right now, I work at Markham campus as an ambassador and also managing the courses and everything. And also, I recently got a part-time job at Porter Airlines, not as a pilot yet. Hopefully one day. But that's what I want to try to emphasize on that. It's how important it is to receive financial aid through school, especially big school like Seneca that has a variety of programs from my program, aviation, to firefighters, to like arts and graphic design and everything. So that's a really big help, and it's only going to happen through the donations that you guys are going to make, through the help that everybody's going to give, and school support. So once again, I'd just like to thank you for coming out and helping us launch this campaign, and thank you, President Agnew, and everybody else. So, thanks.
Well, thank you very much, Amin. Thank you again, Irina. So I'm going to close it with just a few points. One is I want to acknowledge that there are many people in this college who, in fact, have been contributing to our bursary programs for many years. And that's just been fantastic. And so I want to say thank you. And I also want to say we're going to make sure that you're going to be joined by lots of others by the time this campaign ends. I also want to say that this campaign has a huge support system. We've got many, many members of the community who have offered to serve on our advisory committee. They will be responsible for campus-level campaigns. In fact, we're streaming this through the magic of technology to our other campuses, so everybody can take part in this. But we are, in fact, having campus events at every one of our main campuses throughout the campaign. And those, why don't I ask the members of the advisory committee just to put your hand up and wave. There you go. Come on, I can see you. All right, thank you. Part of that, and if you haven't yet sampled the delights of the registration office's cupcake in the back and this wonderful bake sale here, we're going to try to have some fun as well as the serious job of raising some serious coin for our students. Our great pre-service firefighter program has once again volunteered to help. They'll be doing boot drives. And so if you actually, I can't imagine why you would have any change left after visiting those tables, but if you do, they will be happy to collect it from you. And I'll just leave you with one very simple reason for contributing to this campaign. Amongst all the other student needs and wants and desires that we want to make sure that we do everything in our power to meet, which is this campaign, every dollar that you give goes into bursaries. There is no overhead. There's no administration. There's no percentage that has to go into somebody else's pocket. So every dollar not only will be matched at least 1-for-1, but it will also go right into the bursary. So that's a very efficient fundraising campaign. I know we're going to have a great time. I know we're going to do great things for our students. Thank you so much for coming, and enjoy yourself.